Screencast will show you how to add a class to your eChalk page. So first you need to log in. So click login. Type in your username and your password. Once you're logged in, you'll see other classes that you have, if you had any classes. Otherwise, you'll see the option to create a class. Up in the corner, make sure you're in My Classes tab. In the corner on the right, you'll always see Create a Class. So click Create a Class. Then you need to choose the subject that describes this class. So we'll just choose Social Studies. If the subject isn't listed here, you can add other subjects. This was set up when you originally set up your eChalk account. If you teach multiple sections or periods of this class, like in middle school, you can choose to use sections, but it might just be better to add individual classes. Make sure that it's visible at your school. You don't need to add any other schools here. And leave it public to the internet so that parents can see what's going on in class. Click Start. Now you name your class. So it was Social Studies. Depending on what other classes your school has, you may need to add your name to Social Studies. So you could add, your teacher's name here if you need to. Term start date always needs to be a day before the day you set this up. Do not set this as the first day of school because then you won't be able to add anything until the first day of school. So I'll just set it to July 1st. Leave the term end date open. You don't want to close your class because you can lose content, things like that. You don't need an ID or a section ID. You can put your room number in here. It doesn't really appear in many places, but say your room was 101. And you don't need a schedule either. Course description is a great place to put what your class is all about. This is our Social Studies class. We will learn all about, and then you can list all the things you'll learn. You can change the font here, which is kind of fun. Change the color of the font. You can make the font bigger. You can choose a different type of font. And then if you'd like to add a picture, right here is the picture button with the little mountain. Add a picture. Upload your own image or select an image from the eChalk gallery. Once you do that, there's different categories. You can type in something as a keyword, or you can just, history or government would be a good one. And then you'll see all kinds of historical pictures that might fit in your history class description. Here's a good one with the covered wagon. So click on that and then say OK. And sometimes it adds the image and then you can just click cancel there. So now I have my history picture, my description. I'm going to highlight all of them and make them centered because it makes it look nice. Make sure to pick the grade that your class will be, and then click Next. It's asking if you want to add students now. You'll always add students later. So saying no, you don't want to add students now. Now it shows that you have created a class for Social Studies. You as the teacher are the instructor with full management privileges, so you can edit all the content. If you want to add a co-teacher here, things like that, this is where you'll do that in the Manage Members area, and you'll also add students here. Until then, click Finish. And you don't want to add additional members now. And then you've successfully created your class. Say OK. And now if you go back to My Classes, you'll see that you have Social Studies as a class as well too. The classes will always appear in alphabetical order, so math, M comes before R, comes before S. So if you want them to appear in a certain order, you'll have to name them that way. So if you want, let's say you're a middle school teacher and you want the students to see their classes in order, you should name the class by the class period. So first period math or first math, second period reading. If you're a grade school teacher, you may want to arrange this in the time of day that you teach these things. Putting a number in front of these would take care of putting them in order so that it looks similar for the day. That's how you create a class. If you need to delete a class, click on the class. So let's say I want to delete my social studies class. And once you're in the class area, click on Settings. In Settings, you can edit options. This is where you can make any changes as well. So if you want to change your course description, you can change that here. Edit options. Editing would be the place where you did that. All different sections, things, and then just say delete right here. And make sure you don't delete a class that you need to keep. Make sure you delete if you would like to delete this class. And then now you'll notice that you only have math and reading left. And that's how you add a class to eChalk.